There was nothing like hearing that familiar jingle rolling down the block on a hot summer afternoon. Kids would drop their bikes, grab a handful of coins, and race to the truck, hearts pounded with excitement. Back then, the ice cream man wasn't just selling frozen treats. He was serving up summertime memories. Today, we're looking at 10 old ice cream truck treats that don't exist anymore. 1. Push-Ups. These sherbet push-up pops came in bright cardboard tubes, often with a Flintstones cartoon on the outside. You'd push the bottom and the icy treat would rise to the top, leaving sticky fingers behind. The bright orange flavor was a star, but the joy came from the fun of eating it. Push-ups slowly faded away as newer frozen snacks took over, but their memory still lingers with every summer breeze. 2. Screwball. If you remember digging through layers of cherry or blue raspberry ice just to reach that hidden gumball at the bottom, you had a screwball. The ice was refreshing, but the real treasure was a gum, hard, tiny, and barely chewable, but worth the wait. Screwballs disappeared as ice cream companies began phasing out quirky novelties. Still, for kids of the 70s and 80s, it was a sweet little adventure in a cup. 3. UFO Bar. Shaped like a flying saucer, the UFO Bar looked like it landed straight out of a sci-fi movie. With its chocolate coating and marshmallow-like filling, it felt futuristic at the time. Kids would bite into it and feel like they were eating something from outer space. The treat eventually disappeared, but its name alone is enough to spark memories of summer nights and Saturday matinees. 4. Ice cream sandwich faces. These weren't just plain ice cream sandwiches. They had cartoon character faces pressed into the cookie. Some were superheroes, some were animals, and some were just silly smiling faces. They melted fast, often leaving chocolatey smudges on kids' cheeks. Over time, licensing and production costs pushed them aside, but they still live in the scrapbook of childhood summers. 5. Jell-O Pudding Pops. Creamy, cold, and unlike anything else on the truck, pudding pops were the closest thing to frozen dessert heaven. Kids loved the rich chocolate swirl, and parents thought they were a slightly better choice than plain ice cream. Their rise was quick in the 80s, but by the 90s, they quietly slipped away. Today, they remain one of the most requested discontinued treats. 6. Candy Center Crunch. At first, it looked like an ordinary chocolate-coated ice cream bar, but inside, hidden at the core, was a chewy candy surprise. The mix of textures, cold, creamy, crunchy, and chewy, made it unforgettable. Sadly, this kind of indulgence didn't last, but for those who tried it, it was a one-of-a-kind experience. 7. Fat Frog. The Fat Frog was bright green, shaped like a frog's face, with gumball eyes that stare back at you. It was goofy, fun, and pure childhood wrapped on a stick. While not the tastiest treat, it was one of the most memorable. Over time, simpler designs replaced it, leaving the Fat Frog hopping into nostalgia. 8. Fudgsicle Double Pops. Not just one fudgsicle, but two connected by a single wooden stick. The best part was breaking them in half to share with a friend, or keeping both for yourself if you were feeling greedy. They were simple, chocolatey, and perfect for hot days. But slowly, single-serve options replaced them, and the joy of snapping and sharing disappeared too. 9. Snow Cone Cups. A classic rainbow of crushed ice with syrup poured on top, red, blue, and purple, dripping down your fingers. These were messy, but they made every kid feel like they were holding a carnival in a cup. They vanished as cleaner. More packaged items became the standard. Still, nothing quite compares to that syrupy, crunchy first bite. 10. Astro Pops. Rocket-shaped popsicles that tasted like cherry, lemon, and lime stacked together. Kids loved pretending they were astronauts holding frozen rockets before biting into the colorful treat. Astro Pops were phased out as safety concerns and new regulations took hold. But in the minds of kids who grew up with them, they'll always be the taste of space-age summers. From Screwballs to Push-Ups, these ice cream truck treats weren't just desserts. They were childhood. They melted fast, disappeared quicker, but the memories lasted a lifetime. Which one do you remember most? Drop your favorite in the comments, and don't forget to like, subscribe, and join us next time on this trip down memory lane.